Hello, I'm Tom Wills from Axopar London Group.
Hi, and I'm Steve Handy from Axopar London Group.
And in this video, we're going to give you a walkthrough of these fabulous Axopar 45s. I'm currently stood on the Axopar 45 cross cabin.
And I'm stood on the Axopar 45 crosstop.
So follow us and let's go and have a look around.
So I've chosen to film the boat that I prefer. This crosstop model for me is the way forward on this Axopar 45. This space at the back is absolutely fantastic. The U-shaped seating is not standard, this is an option. The table is standard when you select this option. This does drop down and you have an infill cushion that goes on top, so we would have just one massive sunbathing area here. This part of the boat is standard, so depending on whether you have the U-shaped seating or not, you will always get this. In here you've got a cool box with a drain so you can fill that with ice, and then in these two lockers here there is storage. I think this space is fantastic. The scale of this boat really is unbelievable. She is so beamy, such a large amount of space. Again, lowering table here so you can put sunpad cushions on and have yet another sunbathing area. You can see here you've got these two opening sunroofs to flood this boat with light, or of course close it if people want shade in the afternoon. These balconies here are a really fantastic feature. I can imagine family jumping in the water from here or just sitting and lounging. What a really great space. This bar is fixed. This is standard on the crosstop. This induction hob is an option. Big sink here, and lots of refrigeration. I've got one fridge as standard, another fridge as an option, and then we also have drawer fridges here. What an absolutely fantastic space. Massive. Steve,
did I just hear you saying that you actually think this is better than the cross cabin?
Oh, Tom, please don't come to me with that cross cabin. I prefer it. This is the boat, Tom.
I mean, I think certainly across both boats, I love the opening sides. I think it's fantastic, and like you said, I think from a family perspective, being able to enjoy the water or just have them down, let the breeze come through, just improve your view basically from the seating area, doesn't it? And how many people do you reckon you could sit around this table? I mean, I don't know, easily.
I mean, it's huge.
I mean, you could even actually put a couple of directors' chairs either end if you wanted to, couldn't you?
For me, the versatility of this boat makes it my favourite. I appreciate it's open for those people who are boating in colder climates, or perhaps with unpredictable weather like us in the UK, unfortunately. They'll want the comfort of the pilot house, but I would say if you enclose this boat with covers, you've then got that warm environment here that you can use in the winter.
I think what's really interesting on this crosstop is that you've still got that piece of windscreen, haven't you? You haven't got any sides, but you've got that windscreen section at the bow.
Yeah, so this hardtop is actually the same hardtop as fitted to the boat that you prefer. Right. So you've got much longer shade at the back of the boat. It's a bigger structure. It is higher. So again, I think for me that's why I've got this sensation of space and volume. But of course it does shelter you from the wind and the waves as the glazing meets the roof. You can have a sun top. Obviously the windscreen goes the other way like a car, and there is a gap, so you've got more breeze coming through the boat, but the roof is smaller, it's shorter.
And just one roof, whereas this has got the twin opening electric roofs. And the electric roof is standard on your boat?
It's standard, Tom. Is it standard on yours?
Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Actually. All the options we're discussing, can we view these in the online configurator? Or?
They're not online yet, but we do operate in 5 different countries. We have an extensive team of people. Please contact us. Details in the description below.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the helm. Wow. I mean, it's very similar to the cross cabin. I mean, it feels almost identical because I think it probably is the same with the way everything's positioned, but it's a great location. I've got great visibility, and even though it's a big boat, I'm quite a long way forward here, so I can easily see forward.
Really commanding driving position.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I tend to start standing when I'm driving a boat, but if you do want to sit down, you can just fold down a bolster, and then you can actually tilt the steering wheel as well. So that's
footrest here.
Yeah, you got your footrest.
Useful
and
for me
everything's
being
to
short.
hand. It's very ergonomic. I've got a great, nice little pocket down there for a bottle of water, and obviously then the radio. So yeah, I really like this.
JPO?
Yeah, JPO, and I think a really important thing to again point out on JPO is that it comes with autopilot. So yes, you get the benefit of the joystick manoeuvrability, but you also get the ability to use autopilot. You might look at a dash and think, well, where's the bow thruster control? The bow thruster control is actually on this multi-function steering wheel, which takes a bit of getting used to, but actually when you're doing it, it's really easy because when you're manoeuvring, it's all to hand, which I quite like. Again, a boat of this size might put some people off that have not had a boat this big before, but actually with Skyhook, and what that means is if you're getting fuel or you're going into marina, you can actually push skyhook and the boat will stay in location or on position, in position. So you can go around the boat, do some fenders, do your lines and make sure your crew and all your guests are ready before you enter the port or the marina. So that's a really nice feature.
I think one of the great things about Axopar is that they are bringing lots of new people into boating. This product is really accessible for everybody. It's good value, great value for money. So functional, people are calling it the SUV of the sea, and we're finding that with new clients. Things like this JPO system just makes it so easy. If you've never owned a boat and you have concerns about how you can drive it, can you park it, are you going to be able to manoeuvre it, it's like driving a car. Yeah. It's really fantastic.
They are very good to drive. Let's go and have a look in the cabin now and see what we've got down there. Okay, so we just jumped down into the forward cabin, which is actually a standard area as such, isn't it, on all 45s?
Yep.
And there's a lot of room in here, significantly more than a 37, isn't there? I mean, there's definitely a lot more room in here. Yeah. It's a really clever arrangement. I like the way, I love the fact some of the sort of design ideas Axopar come up with, because this gives you a seating area, but then if you want to turn it into a bed, it's literally a case of just pulling that cushion forward.
Slide it, hinge it over. Yeah, very clever.
Slides over. You've got the two gull wing doors on here and then the step which aids your access through there. And the gull wing doors, I think, are not only good for access in and out, but just when you're in this space, they make it much more open, don't they?
Well, we've become used to them, and yet this has not been a thing on boats.
No.
And you almost look at this and think, no, I couldn't imagine being on a boat in this space without this technology. Because
without those, you'd actually feel quite enclosed, but actually with them open.
Potentially in a space of this size, but this is great. And of course gives you really easy access around to the boat.
Nice lighting in here as well. You've got the LED lighting recessed above, and then you've also got your downlighters. So depending on the time of day and what you're using this space for, you can actually light it in different ways. You've got your toilet compartment there as well, slightly aft. And there's a good storage space on the port side in that opening cupboard there. So there's a element of practicality as well.
And I have to say they are the same on both boats.
True, yeah, true.
I still think this wins, Tom.
Well, you know, each to their own.
So again, great space here. Have to say this is the same as the cross cabin, so I can't talk about preferring this area to the other boat because they are the same. This obviously is the Mediterranean pack. We didn't talk about that, but this is an upgrade. So the type of material and the style of cushion is different with the Mediterranean edition. This obviously has the upgraded floor, but what a great space.
Both boats share the same attributes, don't they? On this bow area, it's such a versatile space. I mean, literally, you could be up here with, you know, half the group you're with, or half so your children could come up here, or you could escape from your children and come up here. So it's a nice place to be. I think that seat facing forward is really, really nice. I really like this Mediterranean finish on the cushions. I think it looks really smart.
It's got a really luxurious feel about it. Silvertex is very practical, four different colours. Yeah. So for someone who didn't want this style and look, there is an alternative, but this really works. Can we look in this locker, Tom? Although this is a good space I could store you, actually.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge, right? This is such a great addition to this boat. You could store all your fenders, all your mooring lines. I can't believe just how much space.
And you can open that in two ways as well. So you can open just that one door, but then if you want better access to that space.
Someone forgot the anchor.
Oh yeah, no anchor on this one. Obviously, normally on a 45, you'd find an anchor windlass in there, but I think that's a really clever arrangement, because if you wanted to drop something larger in there, like a paddleboard bag or something bigger, you could actually still do that in there, no problem at all.
Talked before about quality. Look at the quality of these fixings again, these gas struts, stainless steel fittings, and this double line locker.
Yeah, really nice, really nice.
These really are such great boats.
Well, let's go and have a look on my preferred choice, Steve.
Oh dear.
So I'm sat here on the sun cushion, which is on top of the aft cabin arrangement on the Axopar 45 cross cabin. And in my opinion, this is the perfect arrangement, because by having this cabin, it really extends your sleeping ability on board this boat. You can easily sleep 4 people. And I think a boat of this size is perfect for longer distance cruising. And as a result, it's great to have that extra cabin. This is also finished with a Silvertex seating upholstery.
Hello, Tom.
Hi, Steve.
So we're on your favourite boat.
Yeah, I think this is great. I mean, this is such a huge space, and I think it gives you that bit of versatility. You can still sit on here, but underneath you've got that huge cabin. And I love that window where your legs are there, that huge aft-facing window.
I'll give you that this is a really great arrangement, but guess what? You can have this on the crosstop.
Well, maybe that would be a serious contender.
Convince me, Tom. Why should we buy this?
I just think this was the first 45 that was launched, was the cabin. And I just think it's a great setup. I think you've got these fantastic walk-through side decks. You've got storage here at the back, as you have on your boat, admittedly. But I just think it suits the boat. I think when you see these on the water, it's got a really nice feel about them. Had a couple of runs out to sea on these down in the Cannes Boat Show, and they really are fantastic. They feel really planted on the water. You've got the triple V8 300s on the back, which is the perfect combination, I think, for these 45s. They run really, really nicely with that system. It's interesting to see this one as well without the ski tower. It's just, I mean, that's what's great about these boat shows, is you get the ability to just see all different types of boats, all different configurations.
Ah, I didn't notice, so no water ski pump.
Yeah, and just frees up the back of the boat a bit. So in the cabin, it's where you get a real sense of just, again, with the 45 crosstop we've just been on a minute ago, the sense of space. You know, we've been on lots of boats over the years, haven't we, Steve? Big and small, and I think this really does feel like a very clever design with lots of space. A couple of different options in here that you don't get on the 45. So both the table and that galley module can slide backwards and forwards.
On the crosstop?
On the crosstop. So you can actually change the configuration a little bit on here.
We can move this.
That's it. So if you are, if you're in the daytime and you're relaxing, you can push that galley module away. Or indeed, if you are sitting down in the evening to dine, which, let's face it, on a boat of this size, you're more likely to do, you can slide the galley module this way, increasing the capability here. The other feature I absolutely love on this 45, and this is one of those real Axopar tick boxes, I think, is this arrangement of doors, the way you can slide the doors both forward and aft. So these doors are actually both movable. So you can see this side is in the sort of the rear open door position, but then on this boat, you can see on that side, the forward door can be slid.
How cool. So I've got that door open at the aft end, this one at the front end. How versatile.
So you're sitting here having dinner, you've got the roof open, which are both electric, as on the 45 crosstop, but you've literally sat with a cross breeze coming through. It's just such a great design.
This balcony down here.
Wow. And it's one of those features, I think, actually, when you see it being done, you look at it and think, of course. But when it first came out, it's like no one else has done that.
I love the aft cabin in here. I think this makes the boat feel very mature. Yeah. Gives it a much bigger feel.
I mean, as I mentioned, I think for families, in the UK especially, I think this definitely makes this a serious contender against other boats in the market on the ability that you've got a toilet in there. You've got a large double berth, which feels very usable. I think I'd be quite happy sleeping in here for, a long weekend or even a week cruising. That window at the aft cabin there just lets so much light in. And if you want even more light, you can actually take the cushions off the sun pad and lets more light through those deck hatches. So really nice space. And if you're not staying on board and you've got children or you've got people that want to get out of the way, this is a great space to come in here, relax.
Let's talk about the galley module, Tom. Let's not forget that. Okay. This is a really great feature on this boat. So we've got refrigeration here, the option of refrigeration the other side, an induction cooktop available on here. Got a huge sink here, which could double up with some storage. Drawers here for knives and forks and cups and mugs and glasses. And of course this we've moved aft, so you can actually use a leaning post here facing forward.
That is nice. Helm is very similar to the 45 crosstop, pretty much exactly the same layout. You'll spot for the evil people amongst you, hasn't got JPO on this actual boat, but you can have it. It's not an issue. This one just hasn't got it. Electric's opening roof, which is in its currently open position, and as with the crosstop, the ergonomics exactly the same, so it's a really comfortable place to be with everything nicely positioned in front of you.
Feels very familiar in here for me, as this roof is the same as the crosstop. Yeah. So forward facing windscreen and the same moulding for the roof, it feels very similar.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a great space. So down in the forward cabin, very similar, if not identical, pretty much to the crosstop. Great, you can see here with the double bed folded down. And there is ample room there to sleep, and I like the way it's padded all the way around, so it's a comfortable space to be. Same lighting, same gull-wing doors, letting all this light in, so brilliant space. Won't go into too much detail in here because we've already done it on the crosstop, but this, in addition to that aft cabin, is just brilliant.
Window in the roof?
Window in the roof, yeah, which is nice, and then you've still got windows in the gull-wing doors, so depending whether you've got the cushions on the doors, depends, isn't it, how much more light you've got coming in here, but you can have both. The forward deck arrangement is exactly the same on the crosstop as on the 45 cabin, so hopefully you've watched the entirety of this video and you'll have seen that.
So Tom's done a great job of trying to convince me the cross cabin is the way forward. I still believe this is the better configuration for a number of buyers. Tom?
I think they're both great boats. Let's just agree to disagree.
We do often. So
but I think they're both great boats. I think I would just like to encourage anybody that hasn't already been on a 45, whether it's the cross cabin or the crosstop, to come
or a suntop.
Or a suntop. Get in contact with us, details below. We have lots of knowledge on this, what is an amazing model. Appreciate there's a lot to take in, but we would love the opportunity to talk to you in a bit more detail about it. We actually have a boat available on the south coast and we can get you on board and we'll discuss it in a bit more detail and see what you think. If you've watched this video all the way through, which we really appreciate, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, also drop us a comment in the below. It really helps us. We're going to be getting you lots more content in 2024, and as always, if there's anything you'd like to see in particular, please let us know in the comments and we'd be more than happy to try and make that work for you.